Hi quilters, it's Pam from AccuQuilt. One of our most requested shapes for dies is to do kind of a theme with the woods, maybe some trees and a moose and a bear. Well, you know what? We've listened and we've come out with a brand new die called Go Northwoods Medley. Look at how fun this is. So you have your moose shape and your tree and your bear. So just think of how difficult and how hard it would be to cut those pieces by hand. But with AccuQuilt, 90% faster than with rotary cutters or scissors. Every single time you cut one of these shapes, it's going to be perfect. So the two-tone foam is going to show you where to place your fabric. So you could cut all moose one day, or maybe all bears one day, or you can use a variety of those shapes in one pass. So let's talk about the project that we're going to make using our new Go Northwoods Medley. So right here behind me is the Wild in the Northwoods Quilt project. So it's a wall hanging, which is really kind of fun. You don't always have to make a quilt. Sometimes you can just make a wall hanging or a table runner. So we'd like to thank our friends at Island Batik because they've donated all of the fabric for our project. So look how fun this is. So here's our moose and our bear, and here's our trees in the center. So in addition to using our new Northwoods Medley die, we're also going to use our 8-inch cube. We're going to make flying geese and then this 4-patch right here. So it's really a fast and easy project. All you need is that new die and the 8-inch cube. So let's talk about what you need to make this great project. So first, I'm going to show you how to cut out the shapes using our new die. So again, we don't have to cut all the shapes. So today we're just going to cut the moose and the trees. Now you're going to notice when I take my fabric, I have already pre-fused it. Now typically you can run 6 layers of cotton fabric through our fabric cutter, but today, since we've used fusible on the back, we're only going to you only want to really do 4, okay? Otherwise it's not going to cut cleanly. Also, you have 2 options. So if you take your fabric and you place them all the same direction up, when you cut all the moose, they're going to be facing the same direction. But maybe you want moose that are looking towards each other. So what you can do is fan fold that strip of fabric with that fusible already on the back, and then when you cut those shapes out, they're going to be looking at each other. So it's a great way to use up your scraps and your stash, and a really fun quilt here with the Northwoods. Also, think maybe you want to use flannel or felt or wool. Start with 1 or 2 of those layers to begin with. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our fabric that is pre-fused, and you're going to notice I'm just going to cover my moose shape. Then I'm going to take my green. It's been pre-fused. I'm going to just cover the tree. Now typically quilters, I tell you to make sure that the lengthwise grain of the fabric runs back and forth through the die cutter. But here's the thing, when you use fusible, you don't have to worry about lengthwise grain. So find all those scraps that you've wondered what you could possibly use them for and start to make this fun project. So I've placed my fabric here. I'm going to take my cutting mat. Now I am using our Go fabric cutter to cut these out today, but you could use our Go baby machine or even our Go big electric. And since our Go is part of the Ready Set Go, you can also find that 8-inch cube that comes with the Ready Set Go project. Okay, so watch. Slide that mat off. If you lift the mat off, all the pieces fly everywhere. Then I'm going to peel back. Look, there's our moose. And look, here's our trees. Now quilters, don't throw away this fabric that you've already pre-fused and cut with. This is perfectly good. You want to use it later in another project, maybe cut circles or other little small shapes. This is a great way to use that. So make sure you don't throw those away. And then look, I've cut my 2 shapes here. Ta-da. Now to make our Wild in Northwoods project, you're going to make 2 different kinds of blocks. The first is a modified 4-patch. So this is the 2.5-inch square, which is die number 2 in the 8-inch cube. These are rectangles, that's die number 8. And die number 1 is the center square, which is a 4.5-inch square. So this is the shape or the block that you're gonna put the fusible onto. Isn't that cool? So that applique shape really looks fun on that modified 4-patch. Then you're gonna make 2 more blocks. The first are flying geese. I'm gonna show you how to do those, and a 4-patch. So think about how easy it is because you've cut those pieces perfectly every single time. So with our Go fabric cutting system, you're 90% faster than with rotary cutters or scissors, and every single time it's going to be accurate. Our dies are safe and easy to use. So first, I'm going to show you how to sew together a flying geese block. Now, isn't it amazing to think that in every single cube, there are flying geese? So die number 4 and 5 in our 8-inch cube are the big quarter square triangles and the half square triangles that you're going to need to make flying geese. Now, I've already cut my pieces out, and quilters, I would tell you to cut your pieces first and then sew them together. Not only are you going to save time cutting, but then you're going to be able to put them all together. So let's go right here. So first I'm going to take my half square or my quarter square triangle and my half square triangle. I'm going to put right sides together, just like this. Now with AccuQuilt, we have cut off those dog ears for you. So this is a perfect 1/4 inch seam. So especially with flying geese, I would tell you to cut all the pieces first, bring them to your sewing machine, and we're gonna just sew one together, but I'll show you how easy it is to use. So you wanna get a little piece of jumper fabric, because that way you're not gonna bury your needle when you're putting those points together. And then right behind it, I'm just gonna run that 1/4 square triangle and half square triangle through. Okay. Take my scissors and snip this off. Now, I'm gonna press, and it's really important, quilters, that when you're pressing open your flying geese, that you're not really ironing it hard, okay? You just wanna take your iron and just press it. Just set it right down and press it. What happens is if you try to iron it out, you're gonna stretch that fabric and then your flying geese aren't gonna come together. So there's the first half. Now I'm gonna take my second half square triangle and I'm gonna line it up just perfectly. So see how it lines up just perfectly right here along the edge? That's what you're looking for. Then I'm gonna take my piece of jumper fabric, start right through. Now, if you have a stiletto, I typically use one when I'm doing long chain stitches of flying geese. That way it's easier, and I have to get my fingers in there. All right, cut off that piece of jumper fabric. Okay, now look, I'm gonna just press it open. And again, you always wanna come to this outside edge, and look, ta-da. We have made perfect flying geese. So now you're able to put all of these blocks together to make one of the blocks. Now here's kind of our offset 4-patch, remember? And this is what you're going to embroider and put your applique shape onto. So included is a free embroidery download. You're gonna open up the packaging. There's gonna be a website link in there. Go to that link and you're able to download all 3 of the shapes for the Northwoods Medley. Also, it's going to give you 3 different stitches. So you're going to get that motif stitch, a blanket stitch, and a satin stitch, all free. Also, the pattern is free. It's Wild in the Northwoods, so you can go to AccuQuilt.com and download that free pattern. Or if you need help, you can go to your local signature dealer and they can help you download the pattern there. We'd love to see your finished projects. You can upload them to AccuQuilt.com. Be sure and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.